Hello everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. So in today's video I will be talking about the lunar eclipse that's occurring in the sign of Taurus on the 19th of November, and that's occurring roughly around 27 degrees Taurus. It's 27 degrees 14 minutes to be exact in the sign of Taurus. A lunar eclipse is basically a time when the earth comes in between the sun and the moon. So the rays of sun, the light of the sun does not fall on the moon. So the moon is dark, it's darkened. So you can't see the moon. So that's what a lunar eclipse is. Now this lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus also kickstarts the whole new series, the new season of eclipses that will be occurring for the next 2 years, especially 2022 and 2023 in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio. So this lunar eclipse in Taurus is the first of that series, and usually the first eclipse in the series is very important and very vital because it sets the tone for the rest of the whole cycle. Now the lunar eclipse occurring in the sign of Taurus is going to bring in this very Taurian kind of energy and theme for the next couple of years. Now what is Taurus energy? Now first of all, Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so it's all about earthiness, it's about stability, it's about taking the tried and tested route. Now Taurus is also about your money, it's about your resources, it's about your value, it's about possessions and assets, whatever you hold dear, and your just your skills and capability to generate your own personal income by your own self. So all these are very Taurian qualities. Now during a full moon, what happens is the themes related to that sign and the house, which wherever it sits in your chart, it comes to culmination, comes to kind of sense of fulfillment you get out of it, and you feel that you have accomplished something, or you're ready to move on to the next stage, or you have reached a point where it seems very transformative and almost like a turning point. Now a lunar eclipse is a very supercharged full moon, so it's a very intense time, and any kind of things that's coming to fruition during this time will feel like a turning point. You're almost starting a new phase in your life, and you will feel this energy for the next 2 years. Now the past couple of years, the eclipse was more on the Sagittarius Gemini axis, so there was a lot of emphasis on information, good or bad, fake or real. There was a lot of emphasis on exploring, trying new things. So the turning point with the Gemini Sagittarius axis was a lot to do with your personal opinion, how you want to take life forward, how you can weigh your options and use your thought, ideas, principles, apply that, and bring that in your life, and try to move on to the next stage. We had the pandemic in 2020, and that kind of opened up many people's mind to new options, how to see life differently, not just your life but your just your sense of well-being, your work, your family, your work-life balance, just general, the idea of life, the thought process, the principle, whatever you had in your life before pandemic kind of went through a change, went through a transformation. That's what Sagittarius and Gemini axis is. It changes your viewpoint, it changes your belief system. What you were does not serve you anymore, it does not apply to your life anymore, so you move to the next phase. Now with the Taurus and Scorpio axis, what's going to happen is you are rebuilding over a crisis that you might have in the last couple of years. The Scorpio brings in the energy of a destruction or crisis or a rebirthing kind of energy, and Taurus is about stability, it's about building. So for the next 2 years there will be definitely energy of rebuilding your life, rebuilding your finances, your value system, your shared value system as well, and your shared finances as well. Over the next few years, and really believing in yourself, in your own capabilities, and trusting the universe that things will turn out better, and give yourself a chance. Your capabilities, your skills, talent, whatever that might be, you are giving that a chance, you're giving yourself a chance to rebuild your life. So that's the energy for the next couple of years. Now with this lunar eclipse in Taurus, the main thing that will come up is your feeling of self-worth and your financial situation. So keep an eye on your finances and your savings and how you're managing your money. So definitely keep an eye on that. and you will feel the effect of this lunar eclipse for the next 6 months. Now, you also need to check if you have any personal planet at around 27 degrees Taurus, or any angles at 27 degrees Taurus, or in any fixed sign. If you've got planets in any of the fixed sign at around 27 degrees Taurus, you will feel the effect of this lunar eclipse more personally, more significantly in your life. Now, everybody will be affected, but people with fixed sign emphasis, and especially with planets around 27 degrees, will definitely be more seriously affected. So pull out your natal chart and have a look where your Taurus sits, and if you have any planets in Taurus, especially at 27 degrees, and also look at other fixed signs and angles, and look if you got anything going on at that degree. Now, the ruler of this Taurus new lunar eclipse is Venus, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn during this lunar eclipse. In fact, Venus moved in the sign of Capricorn on the 5th of November and will be in the same sign until 5th of March. So it's an unusually longer period of time for Venus in the same sign. Now, Venus in Capricorn, which is another earth sign as Taurus is, this Venus is making a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. It's at exactly very close degrees. So it's a very close, tight trine aspect. And trine is a very collaborative, supportive, harmonious aspect because it's in the same sign. The elemental energy of both the planets at during this lunar eclipse is same. It's very earthy. Now, Uranus is the planet of progressiveness. It's about moving forward. It's about innovation. It's about trying new things, thinking out of the box. So this aspect of Venus and Uranus will definitely make you want to try out new things, like a Uranus energy is. You want to try out new things, and now you're trying out new things in Venus related matters. Now, Venus is about relationship, it's about romance, it's about money, it's about your talents, hobbies, it's about your skills, capabilities, just all areas of life that you want to apply it to. You can apply it to during this time. Wherever your Taurus sign and Capricorn sign sits in your chart, you can look at areas related to that, and you can bring in some new energy in those matters. Now, usually any conjunction or opposition to an eclipse is very significant, but during this time there is a T square occurring with this Jupiter in Aquarius with Sun and Moon in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio. Now, this square is kind of a pull and push in terms of going forward and being futuristic and holding yourself back in the same old pattern. So this Jupiter is going to really amplify that square aspect and give you a struggle in that matter. So you have to channel your energy constructively and really go for progression and upward movement in your life, more than being stuck in the same old phase or same old pattern in your life. So Jupiter squaring the Sun and Moon is definitely amplifying this full moon a lot. Now, it's already a lunar eclipse, so there's a lot of supercharged energy happening around this lunar eclipse. So you can use this lunar eclipse energy to really unstuck yourself, to really catapult yourself in the desired direction wherever you want to go, and it's going to really help you, and you will see it unfold over the next 6 months. So now I will talk about all the 12 zodiac signs and how the Taurus lunar eclipse affects each of the sign. So let's begin. Aries, for you, this Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your second house. Now, second house is a house of finances, your own money-making capabilities, your resources, your value system, your own self-worth, how you value yourself. So lunar eclipse occurring in here is definitely a supercharged, intense time, which give you a sense of fulfillment or a sense of culmination in the efforts that you have been putting in your making your money throughout the year. Now, it's a great time to really reward yourself and really appreciate the accomplishment that you have had. Whatever you have achieved, you have really come far and you have achieved a lot. So it's time to reward yourself, Aries. Now, Sun will be in the sign of Scorpio in your 8th house, which is a house of joint resources and intimate relationship, close ties. So you are definitely very much supercharged to give some focus in that area as well. Now, you may be attracted to people and money matters, that kind of builds up your reputation. And that is a possibility because Venus is in the sign of Capricorn in your 10th house, which is the house of your reputation, is the house of your vocation, career, that environment. And Venus is trining the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 2nd house. So you could be attracted to people that builds up your reputation, your image, your career, people who can help you advance your career. So you could be attracted to those kind of people. And this relationship can be on a friendship basis, romantic, business, any kind of relationship, because Venus is not just about romantic relationship. It rules the sign of Libra, so it's also about partnership, both romantic and business. So you could be attracting people in both ways. Now you're definitely very much eager to continue building upon your finances by using the skills and capabilities that you have, and the emphasis on the 8th house with the Sun, Mercury, and your planet Mars as well during that time in the sign of Scorpio in your 8th house. So you're definitely very much interested in using your money to invest during this time, and also maybe you want to collaborate with a partner or get into a business partnership for mutual benefit, for financial mutual benefit. So these themes are definitely there. So you can use this energy, this lunar eclipse, to look at these things during this full moon. So overall, Aries, during this Taurus lunar eclipse, you're definitely very much interested in interacting with people, or you may be coming across these kind of people who are ambitious, who are powerful, and who can really uplift you in your life and in your career. And you are definitely also want to engage and merge and come together with people in financial situation where there's a mutual benefit as well. And all this is going to really uplift you, your own financial standing, and also your own sense of value, your own self-worth, Aries. Taurus, for you, the lunar eclipse is in your 1st house, Taurus. Now, the 1st house is about you, Taurus, so it's your time. And this lunar eclipse will have effect for the next 6 months. And the focus should be on you. Your focus should be on you, on your solo projects, on yourself, how you are putting yourself out there in the world, projecting yourself, and your own personal priority, how you accomplishing your goals through your own efforts. So put the spotlight on yourself, Taurus, during this period. Now, 7th house is also very much emphasized during this lunar eclipse, because your 7th house is Scorpio, where the Sun, Mercury, and Mars is all together in that sign, in that house. So there's a lot going on in your 7th house. Now, lunar eclipse is a time of transformation. It's a turning point time, and it's a time of change. So anything that is stuck in yourself, in your partnership, anything that is not serving you, anything that is not growing you, anything that is limiting you, it's time to change and move on into the future with new energy and with you yourself in the focus, Taurus. Because for the next 2 years, when the eclipses happen in your 1st and 7th house, if there is anything that is stuck and is in a crisis kind of state, and is not helping you and is not making you happy, those things will come undone. So it's a good time now to utilize this time to evaluate and look at yourself and adjust anything that needs moving away from. And the full moon is a great time for culmination. It's a time for realization that this is not what for you, and whatever it is, that's what you need to move on to. Now, Taurus, during this lunar eclipse, the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and it's in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is another earth sign in your 9th house, which is a house of your belief system, your philosophy, how you see life, the big picture. So this Venus is trining with Uranus in your 1st house in the sign of Taurus, which is absolutely amazing because it's a trine aspect, harmonious aspect between your 9th house and your 1st house, which is about yourself and about what your philosophies are in life, how you see life, how you see the big picture. Now, this Venus is going to definitely make you want to think out of the box, how you project yourself, how you approach your creative project, your solo project, your own projects, just yourself, reinventing yourself, putting yourself in focus. And people are also very much attracted to you during this time. They want to connect with you because there's so much emphasis on the Taurus sign, and people definitely want to mingle with you during this time, and even want to get your attention and draw you towards themselves or draw themselves towards you. So there's definitely attraction, appeal, and magnetism towards you from other people, whoever you're interacting with, especially on one-to-one basis. So there's a lot of emphasis on you. So be mindful of what you are getting into and if it is good for you, because if it's not, it will go through a change. So be mindful what you're getting into and if it's good for you. And if it's not good for you, it's time to rethink your strategy and reevaluate your situation, and go forward with a fresh mind, and with yourself at the center, your own needs, your own interests, your own person, your own priorities in the center. So that's how you must lead. Now, if you do not pay attention to your own needs during this time, you just get carried away with a relationship that's not working out and it's just there and it's not helping you grow, you will see that the next couple of years you'll go through a transformation, because next couple of years South Node is in the sign of Scorpio and in your 7th house in Scorpio, and South Node has this energy of moving away from that matter, especially if it's not serving you. So Taurus, use this lunar eclipse time to kickstart solar projects, your creative projects, especially things that opens up your mind, takes you traveling, interacts you with other people on a bigger picture, global level. So it's definitely a great time to do that and really think over that. Really open up yourself. Don't keep yourself stuck in the current situation, because lunar eclipse is about releasing. It's about moving to the next a level, especially if it's not doing you any good. Now, if it's great, if it's doing you good, everything will fall in place perfectly fine. But because there's so much 7th house emphasis for you over the next 2 years, you must be careful how you are moving on, Taurus. So keep the focus on your own vision, on your own learning as well, because 9th house is about learning and your future project, the unknown territories that you have not explored, the people you have not met. So really, it's a great time to initiate something during this lunar eclipse, during this full moon in Taurus, and you will see the effect of this for the next 6 months, Taurus. So use this time to envision how you want to be in the future, and how do you see yourself, your own self, because it's 1st house. So how you project yourself and how you want to move forward in life in terms of your goals, ambitions, and your own overall well-being, Taurus. Geminis, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 12th house. Now, 12th house is the house of gestation. It's the house of past pattern. It's a house of prep. It's a prep time. So this is the time when you are in retreat mode, in isolation mode, and you're prepping for something, projects that you have not presented to the world yet. So you're working on those projects, or you're just taking a break from all the work that you have been doing, and you're just relaxing and rejuvenating and recharging your battery. So that's what 12th house is about. And a full moon occurring in your 12th house is a lot of spotlight is on there, and you are definitely want to shut yourself out from other people, the world, and really recuperate your own energy and just take it slowly and work and reflect on what you want, your next strategy, your next step in the world. And that's what this time is great for. So you can really relax during this lunar eclipse and think and prep what you want to do next, Geminis. Now, it is Scorpio season, so there's a lot of emphasis on your 6th house matter, which is your opposite sign to 12th house. Now, in the sign of Scorpio during this lunar eclipse, there's Sun, there's Mercury and Mars as well, all together in the sign of Scorpio. So there's a lot of 6th house matter that's coming to surface as well during this time. So that is your work and health matters. So any kind of scheduled appointments, work, your job, your health matter as well. All these things needs balancing with time to yourself and time away from busy schedules and just busy life. So there's a need for work and life balance, definitely. So you're focusing on your healing, not just your work life. So focus on your own well-being as well during this time, and so that you don't burn out, Geminis. Now, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn during this full moon, during this lunar eclipse. Now, Capricorn is an earth sign and Taurus is an earth sign as well, so it's a harmonious aspect. And this Venus in Capricorn is trining with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is in your 12th house. Now, Capricorn is your 8th house, Geminis, and Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, which is your 12th house. So 8th house and 12th house, which is both has this mysterious hidden element to it, is coming to the forefront during this time. It's definitely has a lot of significance during this lunar eclipse for you, Geminis. So 8th house is about intimacy. It's about joint resources, investment, mutually benefiting financial collaborations, or any kind of intimate collaboration, close ties. And 12th house is the house of your subconscious, is the house of past pattern. So you're definitely very much interested in thinking out of the box in terms of how you can collaborate with people in a mutually benefiting situation. So something you can get together and do which is mutually beneficial for all parties concerned. Now, Venus will be in the sign of Capricorn in your 8th house until 5th of March 2020, so it's a long period of time. So there will be a lot of 8th house emphasis during this time. So you're definitely very much interested in finding ways to combine your combine resources or combine forces, form unions, bond for mutually benefiting outcomes. And Uranus in 12th house is definitely making you think out of the box. You're subconsciously, unconsciously thinking out of the box, and you're being very progressive and you're preparing. It's a time of preparation. 12th house is a time of preparation. So maybe you're putting something together to come out and, you know, really get together in, you know, mutually benefiting situation. So overall, Geminis, there's a lot of emphasis on your 12th house matter, which is about isolation, retreat, rejuvenating yourself, prepping yourself with whatever project you're working on, and really focusing on your alone time during this time. But you're also balancing it with your health, your work, your schedules, appointments, your daily routine that you have in your life. So there's a balance between both the two, and that's where your focus will be during this time, Geminis. Cancer, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 11th house. Now, 11th house is the house of social circle. It's a house of group project, teamwork, your peers, acquaintances, just the world at large, you know, the public audience, your audience, the masses. And it's also the house of your hopes and wishes. So a lunar eclipse occurring in your 11th house is a time of change, a transformation in your 11th house matter. How you see group projects, how you see teamwork, how you see your social circle. All this is going through a transformation during this time. Now there's a need to reevaluate and readjust yourself to what you are trying to achieve in your 11th house matter, especially in terms of how you contribute in a crowd. What is your part in the crowd? What is the part that you play? What makes you special? And that's what is going through a change and transformation, because Sun, Mercury and Mars is in the sign of Scorpio in your 5th house during this lunar eclipse. And 5th house is about solar project. It's about your own talents, your own hobbies, your own interest. What makes you happy? What are your joys and happiness? What brings you delight and what brings you, you know, gratification? So there's a need to balance the 5th house and 11th house matter, which is your presence in the crowd versus your own happiness, your own joys, your own talents. So you are trying to definitely balance the 11th house and 5th house matter during this time. And it's good to do that, because finding a balance between how you express yourself is very important, because 5th house is about self-expression and 11th is more about social expression. So there's a focus on the 11th house matter where the eclipse is and where the transformation is happening. But you are coming from a place of your own personal interest, your own joys, your own delight, what delights you, and what is your skills and capabilities, your own talents and hobbies, and your own interest, and what is your contribution. So that's how you are transforming your place in the crowd, Cancer. Now, Cancer, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the lunar eclipse is occurring. And Venus is in the sign of Capricorn during this lunar eclipse. So Capricorn is your 7th house. It's the opposite sign to you. So 7th house is about partnerships, about a committed relationship, and it can be both romantic and business. So there's a lot of emphasis on your 7th house matter. Now, this Venus is forming a harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house. So you will definitely be very much keen and inclined to, connect and open up any kind of one-to-one interaction that you have in life, any kind of one-to-one relationship that you have life, more on a open and more larger, wider audience and wider circle of friends. So this interaction that you're indulging in, which is maybe limited before the lunar eclipse, but you're definitely making it a little bit more wider. You are presenting yourself, projecting yourself to a wider audience for the purpose of maybe gaining new projects, or because 11th house is about group projects, collaboration, to collaborate. So you're definitely very much keen in developing relationship that can help you collaborate and bring in the whatever the achievements that you want, the goals that you have, whatever you want to accomplish in life. You are definitely putting yourself out there in terms of building up a relationship to put yourself in a group crowd environment where you are collaborating and contributing yourself, and you are finding what is your part to play, what is your role, what makes you special, Cancer. So you're definitely very much interested in that. Now 7th house, Venus in Capricorn, is definitely, it's a very romantic time for you. So there is definitely more commitment in relationship and more seriousness in relationship. So you're definitely coming from that space as well. Now this relationship is not necessarily just romantic only, it can also be business relationships. So overall, Cancer, during this lunar eclipse, there's a lot of change, transformation occurring in your 11th house matters, and balancing it with your 5th house, which is the house of recreation, your creativity, your creative projects, and with 11th house, which is your group projects. So don't lose yourself in the crowd, and do assert your own talents and present your own capability that you have. And that way the whole collaboration can benefit as well, when you are presenting your best and projecting yourself in a very beneficial and just very the talents that you have, you're putting all that forward. So you are definitely seen as a valuable member of the collaboration as well, Cancer. Leos, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 10th house. Now 10th house is the house of maximum visibility. It's the house of your reputation, your public image, your career, your way in the world, your goals and ambitions. It's a house of appearance, outward appearance, achievements, accomplishments. So when a lunar eclipse occurs in this house, in the 10th house, it means a sort of a transformation or a change that is about to come in that house matter. So Leos, your career, reputation, all that 10th house matter will go through some sort of alteration, especially compared to what you have been doing in the past. So this lunar eclipse is definitely going to bring about that change in your career house matter. So if you have been wanting to do something that you've been working hard on, or something that is underway but has not reached its culmination, or has not reached a point of fulfillment or gratification where you can take it more upwards and onwards. So this lunar eclipse is definitely going to bring about that transformation in your life. If you have got any planets in Taurus on your midheaven, then it's going to really help you even more, and you'll feel the energy in your personal life even more during this time. Now Leo, Scorpio is your 4th house, and the 4th house is about your domesticity. It's about your family members, your roots, your emotional comfort level. Sun will be in your 4th house along with Mercury and Mars. So there's really a lot of emphasis and action happening in your 4th house. So you'll be very busy with your 4th house matter as well. And you are definitely looking for a more grounding, stability, nurturing, nourishment in your home environment, and also wanting to give that to your family members. So household matters is definitely very much on your mind during this lunar eclipse. Now balancing this with your 10th house matter, your career matters, is definitely required, Leos. So you do need a work-life balance, most definitely. What you're trying to achieve and the effort you're putting for your outward the career, public image, and your own emotional stability, nourishment and nurturance. So all that is definitely important. And be mindful, Leos, that you can only grow to your personal mountain. You can only reach the top of your personal mountain, when you are more satisfied with your own emotional state, you're feeling good inside, you're feeling stable and nurtured, and it comes from the place of your home environment where you are most comfortable, you know, where you can really relax. So do make sure you find a balance between your 10th house and 4th house matter. Now the spotlight is a lot on the 10th house matter definitely during this time, but full moon is all about balancing it out. Now Leos, Venus is the ruler of Taurus where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn during this lunar eclipse and will be there until the 5th of March 2022. So Capricorn is your 6th house. It's a house of your work environment, your routine schedules, you know, just generally what you do on a daily basis, your daily routine. And it's also the house of health. So again, the same theme of finding a work and life balance is definitely required, and also finding support in other people, also, you know, delegating. If you are too much burdened by a lot of tasks and duties in your daily life or in your work, in your job, if you are in a job or in any kind of environment, if you are loading yourself with too much tasks and duty and that is really burning you out and it's affecting your health, then that's not a good way to go forward, Leos. So you do need to find a balance between what you are trying to achieve and the work that you're putting, the hard work that you're putting in, with your own emotional well-being and your you know, the well-being of your family members as well. Now this Venus in Capricorn is forming a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which will be in your 10th house. So 6th house and 10th house energy is very much harmoniously placed during this lunar eclipse. So you can definitely find innovative, progressive, out of the box solutions for your you know, your job that you're doing or your career or just daily routine. If it's getting too much, it's too much to handle, maybe you can think out of the box. Maybe you need a different work schedule, or you need to make a routine, a plan. Maybe you need to re-strategize your plan, how you are approaching your work, how you're approaching whatever you're trying to achieve in the world. And if it's getting too much, it's definitely time to rethink the strategy that you're putting in and how you are achieving your 10th house matter with your 6th house matter, with your work and your schedule and the routine. So it's definitely time to think out of the box, to find creative solution and move forward from there, and you will be able to balance it out, your home you know, your home life and your work life, your career aspirations that you have, Leos. Virgos, for you the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 9th house. Now 9th house is a house of education, higher learning. It's a house of exploration, travel, meeting new people, especially the ones you have not interacted before in terms of you know, foreigners or from you know, faraway lands. So basically 9th house is a house of future opportunities and the bigger picture. It's a house of going outside your comfort zone and exploring and opening up your mind and philosophy and belief system in that process. So a 9th house lunar eclipse is definitely a time for change and transformation in terms of your principles, your thoughts, your moral code, whatever you stand for, whatever your philosophies in life is. It's definitely a time to, you know, move up a notch during this time. And this 9th house philosophy will be balanced with your 3rd house where the sun is during this full moon. Now 3rd house is about communication, sharing ideas. It's about your own personal opinion. It's your neighborhood, your siblings, your close ties. So you're definitely finding a balance between your higher philosophies and your need to explore and discover new things and new opportunities with what is your local and community, what you're used to, what your personal opinion is, what comes from the place of your own self. So Virgos, make sure you balance both the energies of 9th house and your 3rd house, and don't become complacent and just restrict yourself in what you are comfortable in, you know, your surroundings, your local, your mindset. It's very important during this time to explore and open up your mind to new experiences and new philosophies. Maybe you can do this through learning or travel or interacting with people you know, over social media. So definitely use this mind to grab on new opportunities and go the distance in terms of exploring and opening up your mind and not keeping yourself closed like a 3rd house matter would be. So definitely plan something out in terms of maybe education or travel around this time. So, or you will see something that you have been doing will fructify during this time, will come to culmination and some sort of fulfillment. You will get some sort of fulfillment from that. Now, Venus is in the sign of Capricorn. Venus is the ruler of this Taurus lunar eclipse. Now, Capricorn is your fifth house, which is the house of solo projects, so self-expression. It's a house of your creative projects, but based on more your own personal talents and what your special hobbies or talents or skills, capabilities are. So that's what the fifth house is about. Now, this Venus in the fifth house is making a very harmonious trine aspect with Taurus, Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is your ninth house. So this fifth house and ninth house aspect is very harmonious and very useful and very attractive to go on a quest or some kind of exploration, something where you are able to explore, and that will open up your own mindset, philosophy, and maybe bring out your own creative skills, your own creativity, and artistic expression. So definitely use this opportunity to think outside the box and be more progressive, innovative in terms of how you want to present your own skills and the self-expression, what you're talking, communicating, what you're presenting to the outside world is more harmonious with the bigger picture, and you are very much open-minded during this time, Virgos. So overall, Virgos, there's a lot of spotlight on your ninth house matter of exploring, learning, and expanding your horizon, and you are balancing it with your third house matter of your neighborhood, locality, communities, just your own communication and your own opinion, your own mindset. But this lunar eclipse is definitely going to transform how you think, and it will definitely take you out of your comfort zone and will present you with new opportunities, bigger opportunities, and it's definitely going to grow you as a person, Virgos. Libras, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 8th house. Now, 8th house is a house of your joint resources. It's a house of intimate relationships. It's a house of transformation. It's a house of unions and bonds and coming together for mutual benefits. Now, a lunar eclipse in your 8th house is definitely a time when you may see some kind of change or transformation happening in terms of your shared resources, or it could be a spousal income. In terms of spousal income, there could be a change or transformation from what it used to be, the pattern that you had in the past. From that, there might be some kind of changes in terms of that. So it could be a situation where the spouse has an increased income, salary has gone up, so the family situation has risen, and or it could be an inheritance or insurance or any kind of maybe loan or mortgage. So any of that sort which you maybe applied for or you are seeking has fructified, and you have that kind of financial backing. Now, Sun is in the sign of Scorpio during this Taurus lunar eclipse and in your 2nd house, which is the house of your own personal income, your own money making capabilities, how you earn through your own skills and capabilities. So that's what the 2nd house is. Now, along with Sun, there is Mercury and Mars also in your 2nd house, Libra. So you're definitely very much enthusiastic and inclined to increase your financial standing through your own effort. You're definitely very much keen, and the spotlight is definitely over there. But use this lunar eclipse time to establish a balance between your own resources and that of your spouse, and trust and form bonds with the other person to increase your joint resources, joint finances for the sake of mutually benefiting for both of you and also your family, because Venus is in the sign of Capricorn in your 4th house, Libra, and is trining with Uranus in the sign of Taurus again in your 8th house. So whatever the financial benefit or upliftment that comes through your shared resources situation, the joint finances situation, is definitely going to have a positive effect in your home life, and your own emotional well-being will improve because of that. Now, Venus in your 4th house is great for emotional balance and to nurture and nourish yourself, and maybe the improved financial situation that you have in your life during this time is helping you to relax in your home. Now, if you've had any debt or any kind of loan or anything in the past, this is a good time to clear that up as well. and move forward with a fresh approach and completely different life, that you want to build together with your family members. So Libras, you're definitely very much keen to understand where your well-being comes from and what does it depend on. And you are definitely there, and it's a great time to really appreciate what you have already, and enjoy and practice gratitude in terms of what you have achieved until now. So going forward, Libras, this lunar eclipse is definitely going to transform your money matters in your life, and that includes your own money making capabilities as well as the money making capabilities that you have jointly with your spouse, and the financial benefit that comes from the balancing of second and eighth house, which is your personal and joint resources. You will see a sense of fulfillment in your home environment. Your home environment will be a bit more relaxed, more conducive to a healthy atmosphere, and you will feel a little bit more happier and with your family members as well. So Libra, use this Taurus lunar eclipse time to trust on what you can achieve jointly with the other person, and that can be spouse or business partner. And you do have your own money making capabilities. You do have your own plan, your agenda, how you want to go ahead and build up your salary or your income or your finances, how you want to improve that. But if you work together, you may achieve more, and the whole situation can be very much beneficial for not just the people concerned, but the family around as well. That would be a perfect way to go forward, Libra. Scorpios, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 7th house. Now, Taurus is the opposite sign to you, so your 7th house and 1st house axis comes into play. So it's a balance between your partnership, your relationship, and yourself. Now, a lunar eclipse occurring in your 7th house is a time of transformation and change and culmination and releasing of all energy in terms of your 7th house matter, which is your partnership, both personal and business. So anything that is full of uncertainty or in a crisis mode or is not working out needs to go, and you need to move on from the stuck energy. Now, you will definitely be very much focused on yourself as well during this time, because Sun is in your 1st house in your sign. Now, it is Scorpio season and it is your birthday month, so there's a lot of focus on you. Now, along with Sun, there's also Mercury and Mars in your first house, so there's a lot of emphasis, a lot of significant changes, focus, spotlight on yourself, on your personal priorities, on your personal destiny. What is your qualities? What do you want to project to yourself? How you want to present yourself? So there's a lot of focus on yourself and the relationship you have with yourself. Now, with the partnership and 7th house matter, it's definitely a need to balance your energy with your 1st and 7th house matters, so that it does not become lopsided and there's too much focus just on yourself and you are missing out or losing on the relationships, especially the ones that you don't want to lose. Now, the ones that you are grown out of it and is not benefiting you, is not serving you, it's definitely time to release and let go of those energy and not be stuck in the same old pattern. Now, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn during this time and in your 3rd house. Now, 3rd house is the house of your close ties, your siblings, your community, your neighborhood, people you interact on a daily basis, and also your communication style and how you share ideas and information. So Venus here is definitely making very appealing, very inspiring, efficient in terms of how you communicate. And you're definitely very much interested in communicating with people, close ties. You're not seeking much far off people. You're definitely very happy to have conversation, communication with your siblings or just people you live with, or you interact on a daily basis with, be it neighbor or your friends who are very close, siblings, anybody who's close ties. So you're very much interested in interacting with them during this time. So definitely connect with people who are like-minded, who relaxes you, and have form one-to-one interaction, one-to-one connection with people with whom you can really gel well and really relax, and really that will help you grow yourself, because since there's a focus on the 1st house, these connection, these close ties, and even partnership, relationship, one-to-one connection will definitely help you grow, because Venus in Capricorn is forming a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in your 7th house in the sign of Taurus. So your 3rd house and 7th house, which is about connection, which is about interaction, which is about, you know, coming together and forming a relationship, whether it's through communication or through, you know, marriage or unions. So definitely you will be very much inclined to, you know, connect more on a, you know, deeper level with people in your vicinity, and you are definitely forming more stronger ties during this time. Now be mindful that if there's anything that is not serving you, is not growing you, or people who are pulling you down in one-to-one interaction, you need to let them go, because that's how you're going to grow into yourself and whatever you want to achieve. Your relationship needs to be balanced with yourself and with others, but not at the cost of your own well-being. So be mindful of your own priorities, Scorpios, and, you know, find harmony in your relationship, even if needs to shake up a little bit and, you know, change dynamics of your relationship. That's fine, as long as you are finding the ultimate balance and is bringing you growth and well-being and, you know, just peace of mind, Scorpio. Sagittarius, for you the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 6th house. Now 6th house is the house of your work and health. It's the house of your daily routine, your schedules, appointments, jobs, interviews as well. So all these matters are included in the 6th house. Now lunar eclipse is a time of transformation, of change. It's a turning point time. So you could be changing jobs or looking for a different you know, working pattern if that whatever you're currently doing is not suiting you. So you could be looking at a different work pattern or a completely different job that's going to be much better than what you were doing already, and that is going to help you grow. So that's your 6th house energy. Now Sun is in the sign of Scorpio during this time and in your 12th house, and along with Sun there's also Mercury and Mars in your 12th house. So there's a lot of 12th house energy right now. Now during this time, Sagittarius, you may feel more comfortable away from people. You may not feel like interacting much, and your energy may also be a little bit low during this time, because 12th house is the house of relaxation, it's the house of solitude, you know, isolation, it's the house of retreat, also your subconscious past pattern, and also it's a prep time, because it's a time just before Sun moves in your sign in Sagittarius in your 1st house. So this is also a great time to prep for something that you are going to take up fully fledgedly when Sagittarius season begins. So definitely a great time to prep yourself on any hidden project that you're working on, something that is not something that you've not presented to the world yet and you are working hard on. So it's a good time to really analyze and re-strategize and rethink in those matters. Now a full moon is definitely a time of finding a balance between your 6th and 12th house matter. So don't get caught up too much, Sagittarius, in spending time just by yourself, that you're forgetting you know, your daily routine, basically, or what you're doing on a daily basis, and you're taking yourself away so much from the daily life that you are, you know, getting cut off from what's happening, from people, and from just what happens on a daily basis in your life. So find a balance, Sagittarius. Now full moon in your 6th house of work environment and colleagues. It's a great time to ask for help in your work area as well. If you need to delegate work and not take too much upon yourself, it's a very good time to do that, and you will be feeling a little bit more productive as well around this time. That could be as a result of you taking a break from people and having your own time to think over what you want to do, and that has given you a refreshed mind, and you are, you know, buzzing with ideas, and you want to, you know, bring in new energy in your work life. So that could definitely be the case. Now Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is your 2nd house, Sagittarius. Now 2nd house is about your personal finances, your own money making capabilities, and this Venus in the sign of Capricorn in your 2nd house is forming a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in your 6th house, in the house of your work, your job. So you could definitely come about a job, a new job that is better paying and really improves your own sense of self-worth, and your just generally your finances, your own personal finances has improved because of that. So definitely look into that, and this can definitely help you accumulate the money, the asset, the resource that you want, and that can definitely make you a little bit relaxed and maybe take you out of that isolation that you're feeling, or the desire to stay away from people. You are definitely coming back in the world, and showing your capability, your productivity, and you're projecting yourself. And when Sagittarius seasons comes in a few weeks, you will definitely very much ready to take things on and project yourself in the best possible way, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, during this lunar eclipse, full moon in Taurus in your 6th house is definitely a great time to find a way to bring back that energy of productivity and just general daily, just the routine of life. And you'll be very happy because after the break that you have got from the Scorpio season of taking a retreat and being in isolation and away from life and world and people, you're coming back in the daily life, and you're really enjoying and contributing, and that is going to be definitely very transformative in terms of achieving a better job with a better pay, and that is definitely going to improve your sense of self-worth, and you will feel you are here to contribute more. And when Sagittarius season does begin, you are projecting yourself in the best possible manner, and people are definitely noticing you, Sagittarius. Capricorn, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 5th house. Now, 5th house is the house of romance, it's a house of creativity, it's a house of your children, it's a house of your self-expression, your own hobbies, talents, your personal interests that you have in life. It's a house of your solo project, your solo presentation, expression of whatever skills and capabilities that you have. So a lunar eclipse occurring in your 5th house of romance and creativity may bring a change, transformation, a culmination, a release from the current pattern that you have. So it could be the end of a romantic relationship that you might be in, and then getting into a new relationship. So because it's a transformation, so it could be end of something leading into something else. That could be the case, especially if what you are currently in is not good for you, for your growth, it's not serving you, then that it can lead to an end to that. And that can also be a creative project or something. Basically, an eclipse in house presents you with opportunity that is more conducive to your growth, and something that is going to help you. And this can be a new person in your life, or a new project, or maybe you are having children. Maybe you are going to get pregnant, if that's what you're aiming for, and you are going to have a baby. So that's also a possibility, Capricorn. Now, Sun is in the opposite side, in the sign of Scorpio during this time, and in your 11th house, which is the house of collective. It's a house of your social circle. Now, along with Sun, there's also Mercury and Mars in your 11th house of social circle. So there's a lot of spotlight and emphasis on your 11th house matter. So you're definitely very much interested in group projects and teamwork, and you are definitely want to contribute in the crowd, in the collective, with the collective. So you're definitely very much enthusiastic about that as well. You are really seeking the bigger audience, the masses, the world audience. If you're on a social media, or if you got a set of audience, you're definitely presenting yourself. The spotlight is definitely on the 11th house matter as well. But full moon is a time when you need to seek balance between where the sun and the moon sits. Now, in your case, Capricorn, it is your 5th house and your 11th house matter. So you need to also look at your own contribution, your own interest, your own talents when dealing with a group project or a collective mindset. So don't get lost in the cause, in the bigger cause, and don't lose yourself. So be mindful that you keep your essence intact. Don't lose what makes you special, Capricorn. So that's very important. Now, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in your 1st house, and it's amazing time, Capricorn, for you. And Venus is going to be in Capricorn until the 5th of March. So you got 4 months where you are appearing so appealing, attractive, and totally magnetic to other people. And it's a great time to use this to build up this group project or social mentality, the social outlook that you want to create for yourself, and also self-expression, the soul expression, the projects that you want to involve yourself in. Or it's a great time to really project yourself in a way, and people will notice you. And because you, with Venus in the first house, it's absolutely amazing time to really present yourself in the best possible way, Capricorn. Now this Venus in your first house is forming a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your fifth house. So this first house and fifth house energy is coming together in a very harmonious way. So you're definitely thinking outside the box in terms of your creative projects and what you want to involve yourself in and what is your personal contribution in it. You're also very much keen to enjoy life during this time, because especially with children and people you love, your near and dear ones, you're definitely very much keen to spend more time doing recreational activities and creative activities, artistic expression, and also indulge in delightful, gratifying kind of experiences, so all this is definitely going to grow you and project you in a very happy, relaxed, and very magnetic to other people, Capricorn. So Capricorn, do make sure to use this time to really indulge and involve yourself in things, especially recreational activities, in enjoyable activities that brings joy to you. It's definitely a great time to do that. And whatever talents that you have, you are showing to the world, with the first house energy, you are definitely going to be noticed in the group as well. So you're not going to get lost even if you're involved in a group. And obviously it's up to you as well to keep your personal lead and communicate your talents and needs and creativity, whatever that is, and not to keep it hidden. So you should definitely use this period of time to project yourself and really shine your light, Capricorn. Aquarius, for you the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your fourth house. Now fourth house is the house of your roots, your foundation, your home life, your domesticity, family members, your foundation, basically your emotional and physical foundation, your real estate house, and just your emotional comfort level, and where you find a sense of stability in your emotional setting and your foundational setting as well. So a lunar eclipse occurring in your fourth house is definitely here to shake up things in terms of your roots, your foundation, and this transformation really sets the tone. So this can trigger a move. You could be uprooting yourself and moving to another place, and that could be another city, another country, wherever you want to go. Because an eclipse is definitely a time when you shake things up, especially if you're stuck in a rut kind of situation, if that's what you feel. So it's definitely a time to shake things up and move things around so that you feel less stuck and you're more in alignment with your purpose and what you want to achieve. Now during this lunar eclipse, Sun is in the sign of Scorpio in your 10th house, which is the house of your public image, your visibility, your career. So the spotlight is a lot on your 10th house matter as well. Now along with Sun, there's also Mercury and Mars placed in your 10th house. So there's a lot of energy, emphasis coming from your side in terms of your career, and you're definitely very much eager and inclined to really move up the career ladder and really create that accomplishment and achievement, whatever you want to achieve for yourself. You're really interested in creating that for yourself. Now full moon is also about finding a balance between the energies, the opposing energy. In your case, it is with the 4th and the 10th house. So your focus is a lot on the 10th house matter, but don't forget the 4th house energy, otherwise there can be a crisis in your 4th house matter, and that can really force you to pay attention there. So a transformation can come about because you're feeling not stable in where you are, and you feel that you need to move things around and move away from where your current situation. Now this current situation can be emotional, not necessarily always physical. So if you're not moving physically, that's fine, but usually in a 4th house, which is the house of your foundation, it usually leads to both physical and emotional move from whatever your current situation is, Aquarius. Now Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn in your 12th house, which is the house preceding your house, Aquarius. Now Venus in the sign of Capricorn is forming a very harmonious, pleasing trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 4th house. So there's a 12th house and 4th house energy. Now you could use this time for some kind of retreat or rest, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed by what's happening in your life in terms of your career and home matters. Now wherever Venus sits in the chart during the transit is where you are attracted to, where your appeal is. So 12th house matter is definitely appealing to you during this time, Aquarius. Now Venus will be in the sign of Capricorn until 5th of March. So you may feel a little bit in a state of solitude and want peace and quiet in your life during this time, and you may want to create a nourishing and nurturing kind of home environment to grow and just to find your balance during this time. So for all the fixed signs, this Taurus and Scorpio eclipse is going to be very significant because it affects your angles. Now obviously if you've got personal planet in these signs as well, then it's going to be affected no matter where it is in the chart. It doesn't always have to be on the angle, but for you, Aquarius, is definitely going to affect a lot because you also have Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 1st house. So you're already feeling the limitations and the need to change. So overall, Aquarius, during this lunar eclipse, you're definitely very much trying to find a balance between your career, your visibility, your public image, and your home life. Though the sun is in the Scorpio sign in your 10th house and your natural focus will be on your 10th house matter, but do find a balance with your 4th house, and don't ignore the family members, home environment, and your own emotional comfort level, your own sense of stability and nourishment of your own self, Aquarius. Pisces, for you, the Taurus lunar eclipse occurs in your 3rd house. Now 3rd house is the house of your community, your neighborhood, your siblings, your communication style, the way you share information, or just connection, networking. So that's what 3rd house is all about. Now a lunar eclipse occurring in 3rd house is a time for change, transformation, culmination, releasing in the 3rd house matters. So you're definitely having conversation, you're trying to connect, and you're definitely having that social interaction a lot with your close community, your close ties, siblings, neighborhood. So that's definitely the 3rd house, lunar eclipse in 3rd house matter. And this lunar eclipse can bring in some kind of news related to 3rd house, which can be your neighborhood, your siblings, or something that is quite transformative and is really changes things around for you. Now sun is in the sign of Scorpio in your 9th house, which is opposite house to the 3rd house, and 9th house is about your philosophy, your mindset, your principle, your moral code, the future opportunities, and just learning and traveling, opening up your mind and exploring through learning and traveling. So wherever the sun goes, that's where there's a lot of focus. Your individual focus will be a lot on the 9th house matter. So you may want to learn something new, or you may be eager to travel and explore, or you open up your mind during this time. Now Pisces, Venus is the ruler of Taurus where the lunar eclipse is occurring, and Venus is in the sign of Capricorn in your 11th house. Now 11th house is the house of your social network. It's a house of acquaintances. It's a house of group projects, collective, just people at large. So collaborating and connecting with people in a social setting is definitely very appealing to you during this time, and you will be definitely very much eager to do that. Now this Venus in the sign of Capricorn is forming a very harmonious trine aspect with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So that's your 11th house and 3rd house matters. And 11th house is social circle, and 3rd house is about networking. So you're definitely very much connecting, networking, and really getting to know new people, different people, and all this is going to open up your mind and really so you see the bigger picture, you see things that is beyond you, and all this will open up your mind. And you could be meeting people maybe on your travel, or you could be learning something, and if you're not physically traveling, even maybe interacting through social media and meeting people, and traveling through that is also a possibility, Pisces. So use the Uranus in 3rd house energy with your communication style and connect with people, and people will be very much eager to listen to you, what you have to say. So Pisces, overall, use this transformative lunar eclipse in Taurus to really bring about change in terms of your what you do on a daily basis, in terms of your communication style, your networking, connections, siblings, neighborhood, and also open up your mind for the bigger picture, and look at what's beyond your limits, what you are doing currently. And you will be very keen to do that, but finding a balance between your third house and your ninth house matter is definitely required. So traveling and opening up your mind to bigger philosophy is great, but don't forget what's in the community and what's within your close ties. The networking, connection, and conversation that you can have with close ties is also worthy of your attention, as well as having this bigger picture aspect in your life where you are opening up your mind and exploring and discovering new things. So it's a great time to connect, network, and really meet new people, Pisces. Thank you for watching my Taurus lunar eclipse video. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can use this transformative lunar eclipse time, which is very much like a turning point and is going to set the tone for the next couple of years as well. So use this energy to bring about the change and uproot things that is not serving you anymore in your life, especially if it's not growing you, it's toxic. So definitely uproot those things and bring in new energy, more conducive to your own well-being, and something that makes you happy and nourishes you, and also your environment and you people around you. So definitely use the eclipse energy to understand what you want from your life, especially for the next 2 years, and set the tone for the upcoming year and 2023 as well. So thank you very much for watching again, and please do like my videos and subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.